I'm going to call the regular session to order. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, this is a little bit different, but we've been advised that we should approve the agenda. Mike, did you have anything you want to say about that?
Most districts in the state of Ohio have boards approve the board agenda prior to meetings. And so we've been advised that should probably be a practice that we, take on as a board. And so tonight we have that, vote on here, and it is a board vote that Mr. Frazier will conduct on the approval of the business meeting agenda.
I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Frazier?
Mr. Israel.
Yes.
Mrs. Matthews.
Yes.
Mrs. Baker.
Yes. We should note that both Mr. Sprague and Mr. Davidson have been excused from the meeting for personal reasons. But if you could make that note. Okay, now I need an approval of the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Thank
I'll
you.
second.
Thank you. Mr. Frazier?
Mr. Israel.
Yes.
Mrs. Matthews.
Yes.
Mrs. Baker.
Yes. Nobody here from City Council? No public participation? Mr. Holbrook?
Thank you, President Baker. Tonight I have some updates for the board and anyone that is watching us out there. First of all, I want to remind everyone that next Tuesday, May 2nd, is a professional development day. Teachers will be here in the buildings, but we do not have school for students. We try to do that, especially on days in which a vote's taking place, because all of our schools are also polling places for voting. And so next Tuesday, students are not in school. That's May 2nd. Second reminder is May 19th is Hamilton High School's graduation, and as we've done for the prior 2 years, it will be at the Schwarm, and it starts at 7:30, and we do have a rain date, and it is on Saturday morning, May 20th, and it's at 10 a.m. We pray for good weather that night, and the last 2 years, the feedback on that from our parents has been so positive on having it here in Hamilton as opposed to having to travel someplace, and I think it's gone quite well. May 24th, Wednesday, is the last day for students. We are already talking about the last day of school for this school year. And Thursday, May 25th, when we have a board meeting, is our last day for our teachers. So, the calendar of events coming up, it's amazing that it's already May and we're already talking about this school year concluding. On the board agenda this evening for your consideration, we have a recommendation to approve a Microsoft renewal. And that renewal includes security updates. We're always looking for ways to continue to upgrade our security, especially in the cyber world where that has become an issue, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. We also have, in our curriculum and instruction section, we have a number of summer programs, but our Exploring Worlds ESL summer camp is on there, as well as our elementary summer school proposal is on there for your consideration this evening. We have several field trips, and field trips are always kind of my passion because I think kids learn an awful lot through those experiences. We have our Hamilton High School boys volleyball team on April 29th traveling to Westerville, Ohio for a tri-match with Wayne and Walsh Jesuit. We have our Hamilton High School Early College Academy students, and this is all funded through Miami, is that they're going to get an opportunity from May 15th through the 18th to travel to Washington, D.C. And so what a neat opportunity for those students. And many of those students did go on the Washington, D.C. trip when they were in middle school at Garfield or Wilson, but yet they get another opportunity a little bit later in their academic careers. Our NJROTC program on June 11th through the 15th is traveling to Chillicothe, Ohio for the NJROTC area Camp Sherman Basic Leadership Training. You know, and I
That's a
want to say,
mouthful.
and that's on June 11th through 15th, and then June 24th through the 30th, they're traveling to Franklin, Indiana for the same type of training. Here's a group of kids that is taking their summer vacation, and they're going and doing these things. And I think that's really commendable for that group. And that program brings so much positive to this district, and the notoriety that they've gotten this year and will continue to get is something we should be really proud of.
Yep.
Those are my updates for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holbrook. Okay. We have attached for consideration the board policies that were sent out last week for review. I need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Mr. Frazier?
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Isgro?
Yes.
Also, you see attached the human resource agenda that is recommended for approval. I need a motion.
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Frazier?
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Isgro?
Yes.
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Okay, also, we need a motion for the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Frazier?
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Isgro?
Yes.
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Finally, the finance agenda. Mr. Frazier?
Thank you, President Baker. This evening, we have a pretty light finance agenda. I want to say that that will not be the case at our next business meeting. We will be presenting the May update to the November forecast, so we'll have a presentation and discussion on those numbers and what we're looking like moving forward, especially since there has been quite a few things that have been updated since November. We've talked about these in the past. House Bill 45 that increased our DPIA funding. We had an update from the tax commissioner here in Hamilton, which brought in some additional property tax dollars. And we'll go through those types of things in depth next business meeting. But for this business meeting, we have just a few items to recommend. We have a few confirming purchase orders. We have 2 donations to the district, an anonymous donation of $350 for Hamilton High School track and field. And we have an $840 donation of jerseys to Ridgeway intramural programs from the J.J. Watt Foundation. And then we have the financial reports for the month of March up for your approval.
I'll make a motion. We approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mr. Frazier?
Mr. Isgro?
Yes.
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Mrs. Baker?
Yes. That is all we have for this evening. Our next meeting is Thursday, May 11th, beginning at 4 p.m. That is a work session,
Work in executive session.
work and executive session only. I need a motion to adjourn.
Make it.
Thank you.
Second.
This meeting is adjourned.